One of the anime that I was really excited for this season was this anime, Art. And that's really because when I looked at it, it reminded me of Snow White with the red hair and Spice and Wolf for some reason. Artistically, aesthetically speaking, I'm very much into this, so I am gonna indeed check this anime out. And boy, am I glad I did. So here today, I'm going to give you guys my first impressions on the anime Art, which I think is a pretty fun anime, all things considered. Getting right into this, the setting for this anime and the plot in general, what they're going for, is quite unique. It's set in Florence in the 16th century, and it's about art. And art. It's about art doing art. I guess you can say arte. Rescriatem pace. Ezio auditore de Firenze, cazzo! I've played a little bit of Assassin's Creed 2 in my day, sirs and ma'ams, and let me tell ya, this is right down my alley. I think Assassin's Creed 2 has Florence in it, so I'm not totally unfamiliar with the setting of Florence, but I actually like this setting. I like Florence, I like this time period. I think it's a fascinating time period, especially with the artisans all around, so immediately, that's another thing that I was really enjoying right off the bat about art is its setting. It's just unique. How many settings in anime do we get of Florence in the 16th century? And all the Italian people are speaking Japanese. How many times does that happen? But anyways, getting right into the episode, talking about Art in particular, Art is a little bit different. She's rebellious. She's not really modest. And she's even at the beginning of the episode, she's at the door in her pajamas, and Maid is like, "Whoa, Lady Art, you're not being modest," and showing off all of the men, your naked body, as she's basically fully clothed. I just really enjoyed that. And Art actually is born into a noble family, and from a young age, she really took to art. Art took to art. Is her name actually Art? Arte. Resquiatem pace de Firenze, Ezio auditore. Which one is it? I don't know. I like doing the Italian accent though. But yes, she, from a very young age, she got into the art, and she's since wanted to pursue art as like a passion, but as well a means to an end, as in later in the episode when Leo's like, "Why do you want to be my apprentice? Why do you want to do art?" And Art's like, Arte. Arte is like, I want to do art because I'm passionate for it and I love it, but that turns out to be not really the full truth, and in reality it's a means to an end. She wants to become an artisan. She wants to be a starving artist, and she wants to do this on her own terms so she'll have no regrets in the future. It's actually a very noble thing to do. She even goes as far as to denounce her womanhood so that she can become an artist because everybody is rejecting her. She's going around, and she went to 17 or 18 apprenticeships, and she was like, I want to be your apprentice, and they all didn't even look at her heart because she was a woman. She eventually, in just the middle of the crowd, just takes her long flowing hair, hacks that shiz off. She's like, fine, if the reason you're not accepting me is because I'm a woman, then I'm not going to be a woman anymore. So she just cuts her hair off, and then comedically, she takes her knife, and you think she's going to like start stabbing people, going on a murder spree. But in reality, she doesn't go full Assassin's Creed. She doesn't go full Templar, and instead, she's like, well, fine. You know what? I'll cut off my breasts too. And everyone's horrified, like, oh God, don't let her do it. Because, you know, mutilation is bad. And then Leo stops her from doing it. I really like Arte. Arte is really cool. She's just very full of energy. She's very bright. And at the same time, she has this energy to just go out and do things her own way, even if there may be regrets in the future, but she wants to regret it based off her own power, her own merit, rather than, you know, sitting inside all day, looking out a window, and being some nobleman's wife. I think it's a pretty cool and interesting thing, and as well, time period they're set in is very fascinating for women and artists just in general, because there is a lot of artists from this time period that are lost to history. Probably a lot of art from this time period that people don't even know women made. We know that for some of them, because a lot of women, just like Arte, were put down because they were women, and so they couldn't do art. This was still in a time period, essentially, where women couldn't do anything because women were to be protected and were to be basically wives for their husbands and didn't have any say in anything, and had to, you know, do the things at home, like taking care of whatever it may be at the home, which is just the way it was. You can't really change that. I feel like this is more of a sugar-coated representation of what would happen, but I'm glad glad they decided to tackle this in the best way they possibly could. You know, in an anime about a cute girl doing art things. Cute girl doing art things. Is that a new genre? Can we coin that? Can we just get Arte 1, 2, and 3 where it's just her? It's just her doing art? Ugh. That would be great. And the thing I actually love about this is a lot of her family is very progressive besides her mother. Her father, who passed away a month before this first episode, he wanted her to do art. He wanted Arte to do art because she had a passion for it, and when she did it, her eyes would light up. She would get energized because she just loves to do art. Her father wanted the best for her and wanted her to be happy no matter what, and she thinks that as long as she's doing art, then there's nothing wrong with that. But her mother is like, no man's gonna like you for doing art. No man's gonna marry you, which speaks to her mindset, speaks to the way she was raised and the time period she was born in, because that was probably a thing. A lot of men probably were like, you are my little bird and you will be in my bird cage and I will treat you well, which is actually something that pops up in this episode. Arte even brings up about how she doesn't want to be in a bird cage. She doesn't want to be a bird in a bird cage for another person. She wants to be out free doing her own thing, and I like that. It's really interesting. It's also very Arte of her because that's what we should expect from that character, because she has this rebellious attitude that I don't think a lot of people, especially for her, had at that time. I mean, when Arte's mother goes to burn all of her drawings and she has to stop the drawings from being burnt. I mean, she's constantly rebelling against her mother in that scene of like, why are you doing this? This is my art. This is what I want to do. And she's just being put down over and over, and she decides to do something about it. She decides to take her own life into her own hands and make her own decision of going out of the safety net of her home to go on this journey of being an artisan. She's taken in by Leo, or Leo. I'm not going to do a Italian accent for that because I don't think I can. But Leo takes her in as an apprentice. His first task for her is to prepare a bunch of boards. I actually know some about this. You have to sand down the boards. You have to put some paste in where there's knots or where there's holes, indentions or whatever. And then you have to paint over that, or sand it again, and they have to paint over that and then make sure it's all smooth and ready for the painting to be painted on. Arte had to do 20 of those. And those are really hard to do. So Leo gave this to her with the intentions that she wouldn't complete it. But lo and behold, he shows up the next day. She's completed them all and they're all perfect, but her hands are just like destroyed. Of course it's anime, so you don't really, like, her hands don't look especially damaged. They have scratches on them. That's it, but we see the hard work and determination she put in, because the night before she was very much in pain trying to sand out and prepare these 20 boards for being painted on. But she did it. And for Leo, that was like, wow, I fully expected you to give up on this. I didn't even expect for you to complete this, especially in this amount of time. That is incredible. You're my apprentice. Arte goes back to her mother. I'm moving in with this Leo guy. He's pretty cool. He's got the art thing down. So she moves out, takes all of her stuff. Her mother's just like mad of like, no man will ever marry you. And Arte's like, I don't give a shiz. I'm gonna become an assassin of the opposite of the Templars. What were they called? God damn it, I can't remember. Who are the good guys called in Assassin's Creed? Somebody put it in the comments below. But she moves in with Leo, and Leo's like, you know what? I got a spare room for you. Let's go to the roof. And he's got a dilapidated shack. And this is one of the funniest moments of the episode, in my opinion. It's one of the most wholesome episodes that I've seen of anime this season in general. Arte goes in. She's looking at a table and a shelf. She's like, this table is broken, but cute. This shelf is broken, but cute. And I like how she's, through the rest of this episode, she's basically saying to herself all the things she said while she was leaving of like, I'm gonna do this. Yay, this is just what I wanted, as she's in misery. If it's like, it's storming and thundering outside and there's holes in the ceiling and it's just a dilapidated shack. And that's where she lives. But she takes it all in stride and she strives to essentially fix this place up and make it her home and become the artist that she's always wanted to become. This was a great first episode in my opinion. It was pretty fun all around. I think that Arte is going to be an anime that I think a lot of people will enjoy, and I think it's a perfect anime for the times that we're in, especially with COVID-19 going around. I can finally say that. YouTube has finally allowed me to say it once in a video, so I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm happy now. I don't have to say the Budweiser anymore. but with the, the virus going around and stuff like that. This is going to be a fun, wholesome anime that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy, just for the simple fact because it's happy. It's got a really wholesome, cute girl in it as the main character. It's got a really handsome gentleman in Leo. Plus, it's just fun, and it's way better than Yuri Baseball. So, with that being said, this Saturday, aka tomorrow if you're watching this on release day, we will be doing the King of Anime podcast at 8 p.m. EST on twitch.tv/SeaTactics and on this YouTube channel live. Don't want to miss it. We're going to be covering episodes 1 to 2 of Tower of God and Yuri Baseball, and as well episode 1 of the brand new My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu final season. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. We also have a lot of special surprises awaiting the podcast, so definitely want to watch it live if you're not planning to. As well, like this video if you liked it, subscribe and ring the bell, comment down below what are your opinions on Arte, and know that if a Patreon were on the $1 tier and above, you can get access to everything, which I do highly recommend. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.